Hello, friends. Welcome to your yoga mat. My name is Alicia Finley. Thank you for being here. We are going to do a flow practice today, and today we will need one block. So make sure you have a block handy. Of course, if you enjoy other props, grab those as well. And as always, listen to your body. If anything I guide you toward does not feel good, adjust as you need to. We are going to start seated. I'm going to sit in Virasana variation using my block. You can join me in this position if it feels good. If not, you can sit cross-legged or any comfortable position will work. We are, as I'm recording this, in the time of year where it is springtime. Okay, even though it's maybe snowed a little bit, but we weren't going to talk about that. And as we come into spring, it's this natural time of change. And although things can start to happen very quickly in springtime, I feel like in our life when we're wanting something to change, it doesn't always happen as quickly as we want it to. Can anyone relate? And Confucius says it does not matter how slowly we go, just do not stop, okay? Just keep going. And so as we practice today, we're going to focus on going slowly, not stopping, but adjusting whenever you need to, okay? Being respectful and listening when you need to. So you're going to find a nice, easy seat. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your weight back so that the top of your head is resting directly above the base of your spine, and let your eyes close. It does not matter how slowly we go as long as we do not stop. Those words by Confucius are such a good reminder in the world we live in today, because things are moving so fast and it's so easy to feel impatient, that we aren't where we want to be, that we don't have what we want. And when we're thinking that continuously, we're moving our energy in the opposite direction of what we want it to go. So as we move today, one of the thoughts that can be an anchor for us is this thought supporting me? Is it moving me forward? Or is this thought working against me? And you really don't even need the second question, just asking, does this thought support me? Does this thought support me? So let's take our hands together in front of our heart. Take a moment and set an intention. Think about what drew you to your mat and what you want the focus to be as you move and practice and breathe today. And then let your chin bow towards your chest. Gently blink your eyes open. So we're going to start with Ganesha Mudra, because at the threshold of new beginnings stands Ganesha. So Om Ganapati, Gom Ganapatiye. So you're going to turn one palm in front of the other. We'll do both. And then you'll slide your hands so that the knuckles connect. And tug your knuckles apart. Let your shoulders relax out of the ears. Draw your navel back and slightly up. And then you're going to take that mudra and bring it behind your head so that your left elbow comes behind your head and your right elbow is drawing more down. Take a nice deep breath. You can stay here or just an inch or two move to the right. Keep your head pressing back, your navel drawing towards your back body, and your chin slightly down. Good. Now if this is too much on your legs, remember you can always switch positions. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release your arms down. Inhale, circle back up. Exhale, hands to prayer. And now you're switching. So for me now, it's left palm is in front. Slide the heels of the hands out. Connect your fingers. Tug gently apart. Start to wake up. Cross the front body here a little bit. Draw the head of the arm bones back. And now it's the other arm. So it's right arm is coming behind your head. Left elbow is down by your side. And again, the ribs will start to flare as the arms go in the overhead plane. Gently tip to the left as you keep your navel moving back and up. You don't have to go to the side, just if you're wanting a little bit more. Does not matter how slowly we go as long as we do not stop. Let's come back up to center. Exhale, release your arms down. Do you know how good this forward fold is going to feel? It is going to feel so good. So let's take our hands out in front of us. Tuck your toes as you lift up off those heels and hips to the sky. Forward fold. Now you could take a rag doll, bending the elbows and holding onto opposite biceps. Sway it out a little bit. Feel that blood rushing back into the legs, moving probably slowly. You can't rush your blood. Come on. I mean, you maybe could. If we move a little bit, it'll pick up the pace. But just being patient. Patient with ourselves, patient with our body. Let your hands drape down to the ground. Put a generous little bend in those knees, and let's roll it up. Vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Shoulders rolling back and down, head coming up last. Very good. We're going to be playful today, okay? So we do need this block. We're going to scooch it off to the side for right now, but let's just keep an open mind. Open mind, open heart. And don't worry, because we're going to need to move slow with what we're going to do today. So you're going to start standing at the top of your mat, big toes together, inner heels just a hair apart. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Breathe in. Good. Now I want you to bend your knees and airplane your arms. Come up to stand. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So if it's helpful, I'm opening my mouth here. It is springtime, releasing just any stagnation. Exhale. One more. Exhale. Now push to stand, breathe in. Exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. If you want to, it's a little early morning, you can separate your feet a little bit. Lift your chest, breathe in. Belly to thighs, exhale, forward fold. Stretch your knuckles up and over, relax your head and neck. Breathe in nice and deep. Exhale. Fingertips to the floor. Breathe in. Exhale, step your right leg back. Place your back knee down to the ground. Plant your hands flat. Left foot goes back. Tabletop. Left toes pointing down towards the floor. Breathe in. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, knee to nose. Good. Now, let the knee come right under your navel and your gaze go back towards in between your thumbs. Take your left knee out to the left. Breathe in. Exhale, draw it back underneath you so it's right beside the right knee. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, draw it under. Try to keep the weight steady in both your hands. Inhale, reach it out. Kick your left toes out. Flex the foot for 3, 2, and set the foot down with control. 1. Good. Take a nice deep breath. Breathe in and thread your right arm towards your left foot as you exhale. You can pop up on your left fingertips. You could stretch the left arm forward a little bit if that feels good, or you could even take a bind, reaching the arm to the sky, turning the palm behind you, reach it back at your thigh. Good. Breath in. Breath out. Amazing, yogis. Left hand down. Inhale. Right hand's going to come back underneath you. You're going to come back out. Lift the leg up. Now listen careful. Bend it. Bring it back underneath you so it's hovering. And step that left foot forward. Swivel your right shin so it's behind you, and you're going to come to a variation of a side angle. Left fingertips outside that left leg. Reach your right arm up and over the ear. Opening up the chest and the side of the waist on the top. Good. Take another breath. And cartwheel that hand back down. Return your right knee behind you. Lift the back knee. So tuck those back toes, lift the back knee, and let's take a down dog kick. Left leg goes up into the air. Bend the knee, open up your hip. If you want to make some knee circles or ankle rolls, you can do one or both. And then set the left foot down to the earth, downward facing dog. Take a full breath. Breathe in. Open your mouth. Sigh it out. Inhale forward, plank pose. Exhale, knees. You're going to go arching into your back like you're doing a cow. So we can go chest and chin. Keep the shoulder heads lifting as you bow the heart and chin down. Butt stays up. Set the pelvis down, slide the knees back. Untuck your toes. Cobra pose, curling up. Exhale, roll it back down. Inhale, peel it up. Exhale, slow roll, come back down. Once more, shoulders rolling back. Inhale, come on up, legs strong. Yes. Exhale, peel it down. Hips to heels, child's pose up to dog. Take a full breath, breathe in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step right foot and left foot forward, top of your mat. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend the knees as much as you need, fold and bow. Reverse your arms, breathe in. Airplane the arms, exhale and bend the knees. Inhale, reach, Tadasana. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time, come up to stand, breathe in. Clasp your hands the other way behind your back. Separate your feet a little if you like. Breathe in. Forward fold, belly to thighs. Maybe the knuckles stretch a little deeper. Breathe in. Flowing over those legs. Exhale. Relax your head. Maybe shake it out. No. And yes. Release your fingertips. Inhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Step your left foot back. Good. Taking that back knee down to the ground. Just take a moment. Plant your hands. And then its right leg is going to go back. Tabletop or half bird dog here. Toes point down. Breathe in. Draw the belly in. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, hug it in. Good. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale. Now, let it come back so it's right underneath your right hip. And inhale, take the right knee out to the right like fire hydrant. Exhale, set it back underneath you. Inhale, out to the right. And back underneath you. Last time, everybody. Inhale. Now you're going to keep it here. Kick the foot out. And you scooch over a little bit. Kick the foot out. Hold for 3. For 2. A little higher. And slowly set the foot down. 1. Nice work. Breathe in. And now it's left arm will thread towards your right foot. Take a moment. Maybe you pop up on those fingertips or reach the arm, walking it a little bit to the left, or you can circle the arm back and around for the left thigh. And then right hand will come wherever it is, bring it back to the floor. Good. Inhale. Now you're coming back out the way you went in. So lift the leg up, bend it. Draw it underneath the right hip and step the right foot forward. Beautiful, yogi. Swivel the left shin to the left. You could always use your block here. Right hand is going to stay outside your right leg as your left arm this time goes up and over for a kneeling side angle. Good. Breathe in. Noticing the connection from the back leg through the sides of the waist all the way out through the fingertips. Take another breath. Good. And then we cartwheel hands down. Left shin swivels back behind you. Hands plant. As you tuck your left toes, let's pick up that back knee and we take a down dog kick. Right leg will go up and back. We'll bend the knee. We'll open our hip. Rotating the ankle or taking a couple of knee circles. Re-straightening the leg, point your toes to the earth and step it down, downward facing dog. Walk it out or just move a little side to side. And we'll come forward, plank pose. Exhale, set the knees down. Inhale, curl into cow. Exhale, take the chest and chin to the floor. Set the pelvis down. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, unwind. Now this time, take your fingertips out wide in line with your shoulders. Make kind of cupcake hands, so tent the hands up. Inhale, peel up again. This time, if you want to move a little side to side, maybe rotating one shoulder back, the other shoulder back, or even looking over the shoulder if that feels good. And coming back down. Hands back by your sides, tuck your toes. Broken-toed child's pose. Take a moment, breathe in. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Separate your feet as wide as your mat as you take a nice deep breath, breathe in. Let's take your right hand to your outer left leg and twist. Turn and look under the arm. Connect into your breath, right hand back, breathe in. Exhale, left hand down. Turn and look under the right arm. Keep the outer left hip moving back as you turn your upper body right. Left hand down, breathe in. Exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet. And I want you to sway it out side to side. And you can go back to the ragdoll or just let your fingertips graze the ground and really let your torso rotate when you get to one side as though it's turning towards the long edge of your mat. Really feel, if my hands are dangling, like you are that elephant trunk, right? Good old Ganesha who stands at the threshold of new beginnings and is also the remover of obstacles, which I know we have usually a few of when we're working on change. Let's bend those knees and we're going to roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Sometimes you just want to like it just feels good. It's only been a few minutes. All right, let's step the feet in. We're going to walk forward toward the front of our mat. All right, let me reposition here, all the things. All right, let's stretch the arms up to the sky. Breathe in, Urdhva, and we're going to sit into Utkatasana. Exhale, chair pose. Good. So be able to wiggle your toes here. You can always take the arms at shoulder height if it's too much with the arms overhead. And we're going to exhale, sit on down. Good. Now, bring your arms so they're right alongside your outer legs. Pick your heels up with bent legs. I want you to squeeze your arms against your outer legs and push your outer legs just a little into those arms while keeping your spine straight. So watch the back from rounding here. Spine straight. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now you're going to lower back to Ardha Navasana, half boat. Inhale, point your toes or Barbie foot, point, and then exhale, squeeze as you come back in. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeeze. We're going to need our core with some of the work we're going to do today. Again, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale, lift. See if you can lower just so the bottom tips of your shoulder blades are barely touching. Exhale, lift. Good. Now you're going to lower for 3, 2, lower it all the way down. 1. Good. Hook your thumbs over your head. Point your feet. Get a nice stretch across the front body. Bend your knees. Plant your feet hip width apart. Separate your thumbs, arms shoulder distance apart. Inhale. Arch your back. And then lift your hips. Exhale. Arms by your sides. Work your outer upper arms in and clasp your hands for bridge pose, Setu Bandha. Lifting hips towards the sky. Good. Take another breath. Good. And then release your arms back overhead. Lift your heels, come onto the balls of your feet, and slowly down vertebrae by vertebrae. Excellent. Hug knees to chest. We're going to take a little rock and roll. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock up. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock up. Good. We're going to pop up to chair. Here we go. Ready? A little more momentum. Boom. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Good. Hands to prayer. Bring your forearms onto your thighs. Bring your palms together. Put all your weight kind of into your right leg, even though your hands are still in prayer. See if you can pick, I didn't do that very well, pick your left heel up. Now your left elbow may still be touching your left thigh. That's absolutely okay. Good, and then set it down. Just waken these muscles up. Put your weight into your left foot, pick your right heel up, and see if you can slowly slide. See how slow you have to go to be able to do this? Right heel up. It's like a variation of flamingo. And then set it down. We're going to push to stand. Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe a little back bend will feel good. Reach up. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Now if you're ready, you want to jump to chaturanga, you can. Otherwise, step it back. And lower. Up dog cobra, breathe in. Exhale, down dog. Right leg will reach to the sky. So even when we go breath by breath, right foot forward, let's do a little dancing warrior. Spin the back heel down, reverse your warrior. Inhale. Doesn't mean we need to rush. Warrior 2, exhale. Side angle, forearm on the thigh or top hand down to the blocker floor. Reach. Exhale, low lunge, back heel lifts. Plank pose, right foot back, or you can hover the leg. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog cobra. Exhale, we go down dog. Left leg rises. Breathe in. Left foot forward and through. Good. Back heel seals down to the ground. Reverse your warrior. Inhale. Warrior 2. Exhale. Side angle. Inhale. Exhale. Cartwheeling the hands down. Plank pose. Inhale. Left foot back. Remember, you can hover the leg. You could also put the knee down. Chaturanga. Up dog cobra. Breathe in. Down dog. Exhale. Let's do one more round just to warm it up. Right leg reaches up to the sky. Breathe in. Right foot will step forward and through. Back heel down. Reverse your warrior. Inhale. Open up. Exhale. Warrior 2. Inhale. Side angle. Exhale. Low lunge. Plank pose. Inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale. Up dog cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Left leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot forward and through. Whenever you need to adjust, adjust. Reverse your warrior. Inhale. Just keep moving. Okay, don't stop. Warrior 2. Exhale. Side angle. Low lunge. Plank pose. Breathe in. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Let's take 3 breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. I also think that if we went more slowly, more often, breathe in, we wouldn't get burned out so much. So often we go, 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 and we go too fast, too hard, and then we lose steam. And just because I think Confucius says, as long as we do not stop, does not mean that we do not rest. Okay? We also need to know when we need to rest. One more breath. If you're in child's pose, you want to return back to down dog. Let's do that. And we're going to meet in a forward bend. So those of us in down dog, lift your heels, look forward, step or float, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Reverse your arms, breathe in. And hands to heart, exhale. Okay, so we've done a lot of little things to build up to what we're going to practice. We're going to do something with the block, and you're going to see how some of these different parts will come together here. And we're going to have a little fun, this little block creative flow here. So we're going to take our block, and we're going to come into Utkatasana. So remember the Utkatasana that we started with. However, you're just going to put your block on your right thigh, okay? Just your right thigh. And we're going to bring the hands to prayer in chair. So I can already feel them wobbling. If you'd prefer, you could turn your block so it's the long way, so it's on a little bit more of your thigh. All right, so we're going to come into chair pose. So bring your big toes together, bend your knees. Your right elbow is hugging that block. You're in chair pose. Lift your left heel. You're going to slowly step back toward a crescent. You're going to be still leaning forward. Step the left foot back. Good. Take a moment, breathe in. Set the left knee down. Good. Now, take a moment, lean back, lift your right heel. This is probably the hardest movement. Slide your right toes back towards you until you get to the point where you can pick the foot up and step it out to the right. Yep, so I'm going to turn so you can see. I'm going to face this way so you can see. You're stepping it out to the right. Side angle. Reach the left arm over the ear. So good. Now this feels good. I mean, it feels so good. Good. I'm going to come back so that I'm going to be with you on the mat. Good. Take the left arm back to your hip. Now we've got to get the right foot back to the top of the mat. Lift the heels, slide it in a little bit. Step it forward. Tuck your back toes. Lift the back knee. Side angle. Reach the arm over the ear. You can make a fist with this right hand. You could let the right elbow. I just kind of serve a platter here. I have it more up. Good. Now this part we didn't practice, but just have a little fun with it. Left hand to your left hip. You're going to come to half moon. Your standing leg will stay bent. Step the back foot up. Lift your left leg up. When you feel steady, you can reach the left arm to the sky. If you're feeling extra spicy, you could try to take your gaze. Even just straight out in front of you will start to challenge. I'm going to keep mine down as I'm a little bit of a wibble wobble mess over here. But that's okay. I'm still moving. We're coming back to chair. Bring your left foot by your right foot. One more movement. Now weight's going in your left foot. Pick your right heel up. I'm going to turn and face you. And we're going to come lifting your right leg up. Reach your left arm out so it's got a balance point. Take your right knee out to the right. Hey. And then bring the right leg back. Come back to chair. Push to stand, let go of the block. How about them apples? That's what my grandpa used to say. How about them apples? Set the block down. Shake the legs out. Put your weight in your left foot. Reach back, bend your right knee. Just take a thigh stretch for a moment. A lot of flexion, right? We were in flexion the entire time across that right hip. So let's just give it a moment. Give it a moment. Good. Draw your right knee into your chest, arms to the sky. Breathe in. And standing split. Exhale. Fingertips to the floor, right leg to the sky. Shake out that right leg. If you want to bend the knee and open up the hip, you can let the hips unsquare and turn the knee out to the right. Shake it out. Whoo. Yeah. Okay, and set the right foot back down. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, fold and bow. I'm going to grab my block. We'll reverse the swan dive with block in hand. And exhale, bring the block to your heart. All right. You ready for this? Round 2. All right, chair pose. So start to squat in your chair. Decide which direction you want your block to go. Hands to prayer. All right, so it's on your left thigh this time. Put your weight in your right heel. Pick your right leg up, flamingo. Send your right leg back into crescent. Keep the heart forward. Take the back knee down to the ground. Take a moment here, lifting that front heel. Separate your hands. Shift your balance into your right leg, picking that left foot up. Slowly finding your balance. Dance a little bit without having to kerplunk that left foot down out to the left. Side angle. Right arm reaches over. This is one of my favorite movements. Oh my goodness. the groin, the hip, the side body. Oh my. It's a full Wizard of Oz experience right here. Take a breath in. Breath out. Everything we need, we already had within us all along. All right. They were so ahead of their time in self-development, the Wizard of Oz was. Lift your left heel. Really feel how your weight has to shift right to get the left foot to lift, to bring it back forward without it dropping. Tuck your back toes, lift the knee. Spin the heel down. Now you're high side angle. So we were kneeling side angle. Now we're more traditional. Right arm reaching over. Push into the bottom forearm. Turn the low belly. Back inner thigh and groin going back. Outer left hip curling under as well as low belly moving. Good. Take another breath. Top hand to hip, look down. Half moon. I like to step my back foot halfway up, so pushing off and really get into the balance, making sure those left toes stay forward. They haven't drifted. Pick your back leg up, and it's okay if the right hand never leaves the hip. When you fall out, if you fall out, it's okay. You just come back in. Maybe reaching the arm to the sky. Notice how much your standing ankle has to move here to stay balanced. Coming back to chair with the bent legs. Hands to prayer. Weights in your right foot now. Left heel lifts. And you're picking your left leg up. And cactus your right arm or take it out into a T as your left leg goes out to the left. Left leg comes back to center. We come back to chair one last moment. Hands to prayer like nothing ever happened. And release. Forward fold. Inhale, half high. Exhale, fold and bow. Reverse your swan dive, breathe in. Hands to prayer, exhale. Okay, we're going to take that quad stretch. Not even a dancer, just going for the quad stretch. Left leg bends. Left hand catches left ankle. Draw your tail down. If your left knee is forward, bring it back so it's under your left hip. Lift your sternum up. You can grab any way on that ankle you want. If you want to reach for the inside, you sure can. Start to bend your standing leg and stretch your heart forward as you let go of the foot into a standing split. Good. Taking a nice deep breath here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Step it back. Lunge. Good. And then we're just going to meet. You can take a vinyasa if you like. Otherwise, you can just go downward facing dog. Exhale. Send the hips up and back. Breath in. I feel like I missed something. So if I did, you just go ahead and add it in. That's the disadvantage of not being together in person. Because somebody would do the right thing and I'd notice. When you're here all by yourself, it's just like, we're just going to keep going. We're not going to stop. But if I forgot, I'm going to give a little extra moment so we can take it. If it comes to me, I'll add it in later. How about that? Good. And exhale. Knees down, everybody. Very good. Use your block. Let's come up to sit on your shins. Now, I want you to tuck your toes. Put your block the middle height. And you're going to sit back on it with your toes tucked. So you're pretty high. Kind of feels good. It still hasn't come to me if there was something, so it's okay. But hopefully you remembered what it was. I feel like there was something besides the standing split. I think we just came back up to stand, and that's why it feels weird, where this time I went back to down dog, I think is all that happened, but you know. All right. All right, now we're going to take a little bit of, again, we've been in a lot of flexion, so I want to just give those hip flexors some extension time. Hold on, you just lift your glutes up a little bit so you can get your hands on the side of that block. Draw your tailbone under so it moves towards the back of your knees. Start to bring your hips forward, push into the block, and lift your chest and head. Start to look towards the sky. Draw your throat back, lengthening more through the back of the neck. You could always lower the block. Just make sure you feel safe in your back to do so. Lifting the sternum. Good. And then slowly lift from the sternum, come up. Now I've lowered my block. I'm going to sit back one more time on those heels. So even if you could do full camel, I'm wanting a little bit more shoulder opening for us right now. A little more, hopefully, space in your low back to be up a little higher. If you prefer to take the block out here, you of course can. One more. Camel pose. Lift your glutes a little bit, hands slide to the side of the block. Start to lift a little, and then make your body become a plank. And you can do it from back here. And then as you push into the hands, the whole back posterior chain, the back of your body comes forward. So there's not any compression in the back. We're keeping the strength. And then the freedom starts to come in through across your whole chest here. Good. Take another breath. And exhale. This time you can just set your hips back towards the heels. Take a breath in. If you want to take the block out this time, going a little deeper. Those toes have been tucked for a while now, really opening up through the soles of our feet. Good. And then hands are going to walk forward. The toes are still tucked. Downward facing dog. But we're so nice to our feet. We're going to give them a break here. So just a second. We're going to come forward to a plank. And normally our toes are tucked in plank, right? So you can put your knees down here if you need to. See if you can go onto the tops of your feet in your plank pose. Good. And take a couple breaths. Breathe in. Remember how strong you are. Breathe out. Sometimes going slow means making adjustments. One more. Breathe in. And to the belly. Exhale. Whew. All right. Well, here's the good news. You don't even have to untuck your toes because they're already untucked. All right. Shalabhasana, friends. Clasp your hands behind your back. You can keep your feet hip width or bring your big toes together. Lift your legs, lift your chest, gaze down the tip of your nose. Breathing in, lifting up a little higher. Good. Continue your Ujjayi breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more. Breathe in. And set it all down. Exhale. Cheek to the mat, arms by your sides. Do you remember back when you started yoga? Oh man, do you remember that feeling where everybody else knows everything, or it feels like it and you know nothing? Oh my goodness. What's a warrior? You know just everything. You don't know anything. Forehead back. And the key, switch your class, Shalabhasana round 2. Lift your shoulder heads. Right? Just appreciate how far you've come, because so often lifting everything up, we don't take that time to really recognize, oh my goodness, look how far I've come. You may have gone slow, but you didn't stop, because here you are still on your mat. How many years later? I want to hear them. Type in the chat. How many years have you been practicing? Spread your toes. Lift a little higher. Where Shalabhasana felt like, maybe agony in the beginning. It's still not easy. 20 years later, it's just still not easy for me. And release. Other cheek comes down. Arms by your sides. Maybe wiggle out your hips. But that's the beauty. You know that you can go through and move through things that are hard, and that you will not stop. You may slow down. You may take breaks and pause, but you know that you will come back. Forehead down. One more, yogis. Bend your knees. You can take a Dhanurasana if you like. Flex your feet. Kick back, lift up. Of course, one more Shalabhasana is absolutely okay. Kicking your shins back, lifting your upper body up. Seeing if a little more of the rib cage as you kick back through the power of the legs. Reaching up. A little more of the rib cage can come up. And release. This time I like to stack my hands. Forehead down. Maybe keep the knees bent, and you can windshield wiper side to side. Good. Stretch your legs back. Hands by your sides. You can curl into a cobra. You could push into an up dog. Breathe in. And down dog. Exhale. All right. Breath in and breath out. Right leg reaches to the sky. Inhale. Right foot will step forward and through in between your hands. Let's come up high lunge, crescent pose. And this pose for today, I want it to be more about feeling good, okay? If you prefer to have your hands on your hips, I'm going to come back to that Ganesha Mudra. So let's take left palm in front. Right palm is facing your left. Take your left elbow behind you. If you want to put your back knee down here, you can, or bend it. You could lean more back, or you could take the side body stretch like we did earlier, just a little lean. I'm not going to have the pose looking, back leg perfectly straight here. I want you to enjoy the stretch of what the pose offers for today. I know you're still working, but can you find a little bit of ease? Good. Inhale, bring your torso upright. Exhale, straighten your front leg, reach your arms up. Spin your back heel to the earth. Stretch out through the arms so they make a T. Reach forward. Trikonasana. Right arm down, left arm up. If you wanted to take a bind, turning the top palm back, reaching behind your back, you can. Rotating that top shoulder back. Good. Inhale, reach the arm up. Bend that front knee a little as you reverse your triangle. Left arm down your back leg. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Turn your right toes so they face the long edge of your mat. Keep circling your right arm towards that back foot. Prostarita Tanasana, we're taking that twist. Both hands towards your outer left leg. If you want to bend your right knee just to get into the groin a little more on that left side, you can. And let's just reverse that. Letting go of that left foot, turn your toes towards the back of the mat. I know we'll put a down dog kick here at the end of it. Crescent pose. Inhale, reach up. And I'm really focusing just in my own body to slow down a little bit. Right palm now is going to face in front. Right elbow will come, if you like, behind your head. Remember, back knee can bend. If you want to take a little side bend to the left. Sinking a little deeper. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, reaching the arms to the sky as you straighten the front leg. Open the arms, back heel pins down to the earth. Trikonasana, reach forward. Left fingertips down, right arm up. You can always use your block here if you like. Turning the top palm, reach behind for that half bind. Rotating that top shoulder open. Letting your breath soften. Reach the arm back to the sky. Coming all the way up. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Leaning back. And on your next exhale, turn your left toes in so they're pointing towards the long edge of the mat, and circle that left arm down, both hands reaching now towards your outer right foot. Option to bend your left knee. Keep holding onto that outer right leg. So we are winding down, even though we threw a crescent and triangle in there, we're winding things down, putting the focus on how these poses just can really help release in the body. Straighten that back leg. If you bent it, turn the right toes back around to the front of your mat. Take a down dog, and if you just need that balance of doing a down dog kick on the left side, you can just kick that leg up for a moment. If you're like, oh, I'm good. Downward facing dog. Knees down. Walk your hands over to the right side. We're going to sit back, hips to heels, child's pose.
Fingertips to the right. Place your left hand on top of your right hand. Breathe into the left side ribs. Feeling how when you slow your breathing down, how that affects the quality of the mind. Lift your belly up. Walk yourself over to the other side. Right palm this time on top of left. And really, one of the great things about the yoga practice is the shift in the state of our mind from the beginning of the practice to the end. Good. Walk back to center. Okay, come up to tabletop. Are you ready for this? We're going to do a calf stretch that's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, I don't ever need a deep tissue massage in my calves again. Okay, so first off, make sure you listen to your body. You do what feels best. You back off where you need to. You're coming to tabletop. I didn't want to scare you, but just always listen. All right, right shin is going to stay down. Your left knee is going to come onto the back of your right calf. I like to walk my hands just a hair forward here. Now, we're going to begin. The more you push your hips back, the more intense it will become. And as we shift the hips back, we're going to be moving our left leg up and down, our left shin. So I'm going to shift back until I find, okay, where my voice starts to crack. And then I'm going to slowly move my left shin. Oh, mama. Up and down. Now, if you want to even come on the forearms, you could do that too. Now, I'm starting a little more medially, meaning towards the middle, the really kind of more beefy part of my calf. But where I'm going to tell you I get some major is scoot your knee out to the lateral part, so the outside. I'm going to come back on my hands. I actually feel a little more when I'm on my hands than my forearms. And again, I have to come a little more forward on this one because it just gets real intense. Again, you're moving the shin so slowly. If you find a spot, you want to stay there, just stay. You don't need to keep moving the shin. Like an active release, just put some pressure on there for about 30 seconds. Now, you could stay here for several minutes. You're either going to be very excited that I'm going to ask us to come to the next movement or very sad. Maybe you're mildly in between. All right, let's come to Gomukasana because you're pretty much right there. Let that left knee slide behind your right leg. Open up your feet. Grab your block if you need it and sit in between your feet. But how amazing was that? How amazing was that calf stretch? Pretty good. Okay, open up the feet. Lift your chest. Just take a moment to settle. Can you get both sit bones down? If you can't, grab a blanket, please. Sit up on some height. Bring your hands to prayer. Inhale. Let's twist. Left elbow. Bring it to the outside of your right leg. Draw your thumbs to your sternum. Continue to lean forward if you have that range of motion as you're turning. If this is too much, you can just fold forward, take the twist out. Think of your left shoulder feeling like it's heavy, trying to move towards the floor without letting the right sit bone lift. Good. And then bring your forearms down to the ground. I'm going to grab my block so I can rest my third eye on the block. Where in your life would it maybe be helpful to just slow down a little bit? When we slow down, we see things in a different way. We start maybe seeing in more possibilities of, but what if I could? Inhale, begin to come up. Lean back. Konasana. Take the legs out wide. Get your heels to come down. Hands behind you. Again, a blanket's very helpful here. Set your heels down and then point your feet, and it'll start to slide the flesh from underneath the back of the hamstrings. It'll start to slide that flesh naturally back. So you just sort of point and flex the feet a few times. Really starts to get the pelvis to tilt, and your hands can stay behind you. You can flex your feet once you get to that just right spot, and forward fold. Now, if you have no folding happening today, you can just stay upright and use your hands in a way that supports your body in this moment, where you can relax into the pose as much as you can. Really focusing on the sound of your own breath. Hearing your own Ujjayi breath, allowing things to slow down. Think about even in the way that you breathe, start to come up. It can slow down. We just don't want it to stop, right? We don't want it to stop. Gently leaning back, bring the legs together. And I'm just going to turn the other direction so I can come back to tabletop and we get to do that calf stretch. We get to. This is the we get to crew, okay? We get to do this. All right, right knee now is on top of your left calf. You start nice and easy. You can even just move it a little bit side to side. You see me kind of moving that. I'm going to scooch my hands just a couple inches forward. And then maybe start to shift your hips back and begin, when you're ready, to move your right shin up and down. Now, if you're not really finding anything interesting, no, that's fine. I don't really feel anything. Keep moving around. Move further out to the side. I can almost guarantee you will find some things, okay? Now, what's really great to do, we're not doing it today, is to do a down dog. See where your heels are in relation to the ground. Do this on both sides, this little calf stretch. We'll call it a stretch. It's kind of a smasher, but a stretch. And then do down dog again, and notice when you release your calves how much that helps your body. I know, all day we could stay here. Take another breath or two. Maybe stop moving the shin. Just find a spot that you can feel the tension and just notice, does it dissolve? Does it get bigger? Does it stay the same? Slide your right shin behind your left shin. Gomukasana, everyone. I'm going to turn and face you. Sit back in between your heels. Open up the feet. The more I move my shins forward, eventually getting toward a straight line, with the knees being the center point, it's going to intensify. The closer your heels come in towards you, it'll be a little less intense. Hands to prayer, breathe in. Both sit bones are down. If they're not, get a prop to adjust. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Breathing in. Breathing out. Coming back to center, I'm going to grab my block. Forward fold if there's space to go. If this pose is just too much, you can lay on your back and hold opposite ankles. Okay, you just lay on your back. Same pose, left knee still on top. Begin to slowly come up. Again, we're going to go wide-legged straddle, forward fold. So lean back, stretch your legs out. Hands behind you, point and flex your feet a few times. Lifting up nice and tall. Exhale, folding forward. One more time, just nice and symmetrical. We did a lot of twisting, a lot of side bending. So if you are still feeling the desire again, you could go over to one side in your wide-legged this time, but it's always nice to end with something symmetrical. Begin to walk yourself slowly back up. Use your hands, gently bring your legs together, Baddha Konasana, holding onto the ankles, breathe in, and folding forward. Again, if you want to use your block, you can have it out in front of you. If you get any pain in your knee, you could do this pose laying down as well. Inhale, come up. Exhale, use your hands to gently bring your knees together. Slowly come down onto your back. Keep the block handy. Holding onto the front of both your knees, just making some circles in one direction. Massaging out that low back, other way. Feet down, hip width apart. Supported bridge. Elevate your hips. Slide your block any height you would like, low, middle, or high. Slide it underneath the sacrum, right at the top of the butt. And you can keep your feet down. I'm going to elevate mine. We did a lot of work in those legs today, this afternoon, this morning, whenever you're practicing. And we can stretch those legs up towards the sky, flexing your feet or pointing your feet, or maybe taking a straddle. You can do any variation that you would like with your legs up. You can, of course, stay in the supported bridge. Some days I like to bend my knees just a little bit in my supported shoulder stand, and I find that just lets the femur, the thigh bones drop into the sockets a little bit more. I feel a little more ease some days come into my low back, so you could always do that little adjustment if you like. And you can stay with your legs up or start to bring them down. Either, again, stay in this supported bridge, or those of you that like the stretch for the hip flexors, just make sure your block's not too high so you don't get any pain in your back. You can stretch the heels down, legs go straight, and the toes point up. Getting a nice stretch across the abdomen, across the hips. Again, if you feel any pain in the back, you can bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, and lower your block, and try that. You could also just use a blanket or just stay in bridge. You can do that too. You might feel a little bit of energy and prana circulating back into those legs if you had them up in the supported shoulder stand. Slide your feet back to the floor. Push into the feet, elevate the hips, slide the block out. And any final pose you would like to do, I'm going to take a happy baby. If you want another thigh stretch laying down, we did do that one standing, but if you want another thigh stretch, you could windshield wiper the legs and take a thigh stretch. Or if you just want another minute in more relaxation time, come to Shavasana. So whenever you finish your final pose, whatever that is for you, go ahead and let your legs extend out. Turn your palms up. Allow your eyes to close. And this is your time, these next couple of minutes, to absorb how these movements shift not just your body, but your mind. And as your mind now may start to wander, anchor your mind back to your breath. And every time you catch it, just saying to yourself, breathe in, breathe out. Anytime the mind drifts, use the breath as your anchor back to this moment. Observing the breath. And enjoy. Now I encourage you to stay here as long as you like and you have time for. A full 5 to 7 minutes is a great amount of time. We've been here about 3 or 4. Start to move your fingers and your toes if you are wanting to stick more around an hour. You point your feet and flex them, starting to even rotate your ankles, maybe even your wrists. Switch the direction. Reach your arms over your head. Take a big full body stretch. Breathe in. Bend your knees. Connect your feet to the earth and roll to your right side. Use your hands to bring your body back upright. Bringing your palms together in front of your heart. It does not matter how slowly we go as long as we do not stop. I don't know maybe what you're going through in this exact moment, but I just want to remind you that every little effort that you make, it doesn't go to waste. So keep taking one step at a time, moving in that direction. And don't worry about how fast everybody else goes. Just stay focused on what you are moving toward. As you draw thumbs to third eye, thank you. Thank you for practicing today. Namaste. Thank you, friends. Make sure you subscribe so you know when new videos come out. And until next time, mwah. Thank you.